defense improve, and just they missed him so much. I think.
Daniel.
What happened? What happened? What happened? What
So
happened?
I started the broadcast,
Uh
but there was a button that said go live. And I didn't click it for the first 20 minutes.
So what do we do here, Lewis? What do we do here?
Hold on. Okay, yep, there we go. There we go. All right. So,
Are we live?
uh,
Did we hit the button?
we hit the button now. We're good.
We hit the button now?
Good now. 20 minutes.
Hi, guys.
Hi everyone. I go on the channel and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, why doesn't it say we're live? That's so interesting, right? And then I'm like, oh, what could it be? Just says go live right here.
Live. Hey, listen, guys. We've been recording, thankfully, for 20 minutes
only.
off camera.
Thank you for 20 minutes
Only.
only. Phew!
For 20 minutes.
Phew!
Lewis is like on his deathbed. He's sick, so we forgive him,
Thank you.
right? He's a man with his cold, so he is dying, right? As a man is dying when he has a cold. So what did you? I'm Daniel. That's Lewis. This is the Get Back. We're live. We're talking
Hi
football.
guys. How are you doing?
So what did they miss? Not much, honestly.
Not much, honestly. We talked about games that already happened. Let's run through it.
Yeah.
Let's do the 3-minute get back. Here we go. You ready for this? Lions lost to the Vikings in a terrible fashion. Daniel, how do we feel about this?
Not good about the Lions. Their coordinators being new are a problem. There's no cohesion. They're consistent, but I think they'll be fine. They look okay.
And also, the injuries on defense definitely didn't help their case. When you don't have the continuity with new coordinators, sometimes it could fall flat on your face. And they've lost there was at least 3 to 4 games that we saw that they easily could have won, that last year they definitely would have smoked those teams really bad. But you know what? They underperformed. They underachieved this year. It's kind of funny because, we got to get used to seeing the Lions now in playoffs.
Oh.
And then what?
Oh.
What just happened?
Okay. James Cook just got spiked.
Oh my gosh.
Like, he just landed on his head and his shoulder and he fumbled the ball. And the way he was, like, it wasn't like it was intentional. It was just like he kind of flipped over somebody and landed on his head and his shoulder and he fumbled the ball.
Oh.
Well, I think they're going to rule him down by contact. No fumble. But go ahead.
All right. Yeah, Lions underachieved, but it's kind of funny because they were the laughingstock of the league, and now we expect them to have 11 or 12 wins every single year. So, you know what? This is Dan Campbell's first real bad year, so we'll give him a break. The Lions should come back next season healthier with the same coordinators and, looking to keep that scheme going, looking to keep the offense humming, then the defense making big splash plays. So, we'll see for next year about the Detroit Lions. And then next, we talk about the game that me and Daniel were live for. It's the Houston Texans versus the LA Chargers. Houston went up real big, real early, and then they only scored 6 more points the entire game. And, yeah.
They win.
They win.
They did just enough.
They did just enough. And now, Daniel, why do you think they won that game? What do you think?
I'm sorry. This Eagles defense is pummeling the Bills right now. Pummeling. Everything I've said about Buffalo is being proven right now. What was the question?
Why did the Houston Texans
why did Houston win? Why did Houston win? Their defense is a leader. It's a leader. It's a Super Bowl winning defense. It's just that good. And Justin Herbert had 4 white jerseys in his face the entire game because that O-line can't block for shit. And when Justin Herbert had 2 seconds, literally 2 seconds to throw a ball, he usually made a good pass or got completion, or his receiver would drop the ball and have butterfingers, or be tipped and be intercepted. So I don't blame Herbert. I think the Chargers played well. That defense for the Chargers is good. It's a tough game to measure them up with because of how hurt they are offensively on the O-line and how good the Texans defense is. But they played well. But Justin Herbert is hurt. His O-line is hurt. He's still hurt. He's running around with literally no help anywhere. But that Houston defense is elite. They could win a Super Bowl with that defense if their offense just does enough offensively. CJ Stroud looked good for the first 5 minutes of the game and really didn't do much else afterwards. But Houston played well, enough to win. That's what they do. That's what they've been doing. But I think the takeaway is that Houston continues their momentum. Chargers look okay in a loss.
Yeah, especially, they were down big, and, the Chargers defense was able to be resilient enough to only give up 6 extra points. It's just that offense couldn't come up clutch when it really needed to most, and the defense, they tried their best. But the Texans offense, it kind of worries me, but that defense makes it to where you don't got to worry about nothing, baby. They literally sit you down on the couch, they rub your feet, they put hot stones on it, they bring chocolates from the fridge, nice. You take a bite of that, you sit down, and you're like, this is nice. That's what the defense does for that offense. They literally uplift them. They make them better than they actually are. And C.J. Stroud only needs one really big splash play and then plays mediocre the rest of the game, and they can still win a football game. And that's all that matters in the playoffs is winning the game. Doesn't matter how you look. It may or may not translate to the next week, but if you win the game, you advance, and then you could game plan for next week. There we go. And now, what game are we on now?
Ravens. We're talking about the Packers and the Ravens.
Ravens and Packers, baby. Ravens run all over Green Bay. They stomp all over the Swiss cheese. That defense looked like Swiss cheese, to be quite frank. You know what I mean?
And we came to a realization right before we went live because stuff happened. When you run the ball with Derrick Henry, good things happen, like winning the game. So, just a great realization we came to just now, And John Harbaugh had the realization on Saturday, so that was good to see that.
Yeah, and John Harbaugh was looking at those Instagram comments being like, why doesn't this dummy coach just give the ball to, I don't know, his Hall of Fame running back who has consistently been able to thrash defenses for his entire career in the NFL and high school and college? Why don't you just give the ball to him and see what happens? Right? You only give it the ball 18 times and you were leading? Why don't you just give him the ball? Give him the ball. And he was like, okay, guys, fine. I'll give him the ball. I don't really want to, but okay, fine, if you say so. Well, if it doesn't work, I'm blaming you. Guys, please. But it worked. It paid off. The Ravens are still in contention, still in the hunt. They are 8-8, and they go to Pittsburgh next week, and Snoop Huntley has the chance to do the funniest thing and knock out the Pittsburgh Steelers from the playoff contention and win the division for the Ravens. Now we are all caught up.
Yes. So now we go back to the question I was asked before we went live. What is wrong with the Packers? What happened? So I was saying before, I think losing Micah Parsons was a big part of that defense, and he did so much little things to really make that defense better, and that he was a big loss here. I just think that defense for the Packers has been suspect a little bit, especially on the ground. And when you're playing Derrick Henry, it's going to be exposed. But I think to the level of 216 yards and 4 touchdowns, it kind of was like, damn, that's eye-opening. So I think the Packers, I said before, I don't think they need Jordan Love to win. I think they're good enough without him. Malik Willis had a good game, right? Jordan Love's a playmaker. He can make big plays. I'm not saying that Malik Willis is better than him, but I think Jordan Love does kind of edge it out a little bit. But I don't think he's the reason why they lost. I don't think Malik Willis is the reason why the Packers lost this game. I don't think that offense is the reason why they lost. I think defensively they just could not stop the run.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's just period stop. Can't stop the run. You can't stop the Ravens. You can't. Your offense can only do so much, right? Which is already compromised without Jordan Love. So I think Micah Parsons being down hurts them. I think secondary not being strong enough hurts them. It's kind of eye-opening at this point in the season, and it is worrisome as the playoffs get closer, especially against some other teams in their conference in the NFC. But they can make some noise, I guess, but it's going to depend on their match. They're probably going to stay at the 7th seed, so they're probably either going to play, the Seahawks or the Bears. So we'll see what happens there. But again, I think it's a tough barometer, right? Because that defense has played well, but then you see a game like this and you're like, wait a minute. Are they not good? Right? So it's like it's a hard barometer to kind of judge them. I think losing Micah Parsons kind of did change that for me a little bit now, and you're starting to see the impact of his loss on the Packers.
Yeah, like if you're gonna be a playoff team and you're gonna be playing the 2 seed in the NFC, you are gonna have to be able to stop the run. And if you aren't able to do that, the offense and also Josh Jacobs has kind of been sputtering these last couple of weeks, and you can run the ball now. So that also puts more pressure on your quarterbacks to have to be heroes and play hero ball, and potentially put you in dangerous situations to give the ball away to the offense of the other team. I mean, who knows? It's gonna be playoffs. Anybody could win, but I'd be very shocked if I see the Packers go in and beat a 2 seed in the playoffs this year, especially with the way this defense is just not good enough. Not good enough. And that offense, right, they're not the problem. I have no problem with the Packers offense, really. Maybe fix the run game a little bit, get Josh Jacobs a bit more involved as a passer if you're going to pass the ball more. He's a dynamic playmaker that needs the ball. And we can't just neglect him like Derrick Henry was neglected last week against the Bills the Patriots, in the fourth quarter. We can't just neglect this great offensive player. You're going to have to get shit going, and Matt LaFleur, we expect good things out of you because you've been a good coach. So you got to get this team prepared, get them ready with Jordan Love or without Jordan Love, because it's shown that Malik Willis in that offense, it's not as big of a dip as it could be.
Yeah.
So we are, as a collective, like NFL fans, we're kind of sold on Malik Willis being able to lead an offense down the field and put some game-winning drives, right? We're seeing that live, and he's making great throws and being a runner with the football, and he's shown that he has that athletic ability to do that on a week-to-week basis. Now that defense has to show up. And this is playoff football, so you could just get bounced out in the first round immediately and get smoked, and then now we're talking about you as a head coach. So we'll see. But shout out to the Ravens. Keep their hopes alive, man.
I'm just saying, the Eagles are just doing whatever they want offensively. Jesus Christ. I'm just saying, we as a show have collectively held coaches to a higher standard this year, right? Where it's like, even though you're winning, if you're not doing well in big games and you're not consistently being well in the playoffs and you're not getting to championship games or like whatever, it may be time to reconsider, some of these coaches, right? We said about Sean McDermott. We said about Jim Harbaugh. John Harbaugh, excuse me. Maybe we throw Matt LaFleur in that conversation. Because it'd be another winning year, another 7-seed berth, another playoff berth. But where are we going with it? Are they Mike Tomlin? Todd Bowles? Right? There's coaches we've held to the same standard we should be holding Matt LaFleur, maybe. Maybe. Just saying. So.
And it's not like Matt LaFleur, hasn't, it's not like Matt LaFleur hasn't had good teams.
Success.
He's had really good teams. MVP Rodgers teams. He's had great teams. He's been there for a minute.
Remember. Just like Sean McDermott was in an NFC Championship game. He was in a championship game and he lost it. Never won the Super Bowl.
Never has. Now, is that his fault, or is it the Packers not building, a good team? They've built good teams. You can't get it done when it matters most, apparently. So, that will be a conversation to have, right? We'll go after the offseason's over, when the offseason's starting to kick in. We're just going to talk about some of these non-playoff teams or these playoff teams that just got one and done, bounced out. We're going to have a really long, difficult conversation about these coaches and their future, right? And what we're expecting.
It may get heated.
Yeah.
Because I feel passionately about some of them, and you guys feel passionately about some of them as well. So Stay tuned for that.
Stay tuned for that. And also stay tuned for next week, Ravens-Steelers. Game of the century.
Now, do we want to explain why Ravens Steelers is going to happen next week and why it's such a pivotal game?
It's a very pivotal game because you know what I'm saying? It's just perfect timing. You know what I mean? Week 18 in Pittsburgh. Big divisional
There's a
matchup.
difference.
You know, when the AP's on your wrist, it's perfect timing.
There's the truth.
The truth, the difference. The champion. And the Browns get it done. And the Steelers doing what the Steelers do best. And I am not a big fan of Steelers football like that. As, you know, Pittsburgh Steelers fans or maybe, you know, other people give them credit for. I'm very hard on the Steelers because if we're talking about Mike Tomlin, you know, Super Bowl winning coach, being able to elevate teams that, you know, may be overachieving every year, we have to talk about him also playing down the competition. When it matters most, the Pittsburgh Steelers in the last 3 to 4 years always fucking do this. When it's time to win a game against the team that you need to beat, they can't do it. They can't do it. And yeah, you can win games and you can be above 500 for however many so years you are. And that is very impressive. To have that longevity and that continuity is very impressive in a sport that's always evolving. Right? So I appreciate him for that. But when it comes to these game moments and being able to beat teams that you should be beating, it just so happens that Steelers like to play in a direction that's not up to their competition. They like to play down. Just saying. You should beat the Browns. You should win. Clearly. Beat them. They're easy pickings. And then guess what? The game next week against the Ravens means nothing. Means nothing.
Yeah.
You can rest all your starters. Means nothing. But no. You let the Browns walk in and beat you 13-6. I get it. The Browns defense is tough. But this is late year. You're a playoff team, potentially. You have to show that you are.
Be. Yeah.
And right now, this is a terrible precedent, a terrible standard to set. Terrible. It's awful, right? Because you win this game, you're in the playoffs. What was the message in the locker room? Right? This got me thinking. What were we talking about to this offense? They scored 6 points. Was DK Metcalf that much of a needle mover? You barely used him before that. What happened today? Browns defense too good? They're a terrible team. You got to beat them. Plain and simple.
No, I mean, I don't disagree. Shout out to the Browns. You know, they played their playoff game today, and they won at home. They're the difference maker. Really had a pretty good game, all things considered, from him. So shout out to Shedeur. But that Browns defense is really good. They've built a really solid defense there. They have a good foundation of what they're going on. So give credit to them. They were home. That's always a place to win. That being said, you should win. Because, again, playoff teams win these games no problem. Right? They don't like competition. Like the Patriots today needed to beat the Jets. They destroyed the Jets 42-10. That's what should be happening, right? Who else played today? The Jaguars went into Indy and made sure it looked shaky, but they got the job done, right? It was shaky, but they got the job done, right? Mm-hmm. We're gonna see other things tonight, whatever. Playoff teams get the job done. Championship teams get the job done. If you can't go into Cleveland and pick up a road win where you need it. You're like, I don't know what the message is. I don't know what is happening in that locker room. I don't know what the game plan was or was supposed to be. Throw it out the window. Whatever Mike Tomlin was thinking was gone. This offense, I don't know what was going on. You have probably one of the biggest receivers in the world, DK Metcalf. You have 3 tight ends. And you have a Hall of Fame quarterback in Aaron Rodgers, who, granted, is a shell of himself and half of himself, but still can throw the ball pretty well. And read the defense, pick apart defense.
my thing is right, and also DK Metcalf was suspended because he punched a fan.
That is true. I forgot about that.
Saying Devarius Canarius, whatever his name is, Limgardum Leviosa Dedarius. I don't know what his name is, but for just saying his name. So he's suspended 2 games, right? If DK Metcalf is that much of a fucking needle mover to where you need him to beat the Browns at this stage of the season, take the team, crumple it up, put it in the garbage. This team's trash.
Yeah. And like it's so tough because you see what they did last week against the Lions. They put up almost 30 points. They looked hungry. They were up for that game on the road again. Where was that team today? And I'm not a Steelers fan either, but where the hell was that team today? That looked like that team that was hungry, that was competitive, that was punching fans because they were pissed off. Which don't do, by the way. It's a bad thing.
Don't do,
please. But it's like, where was that fire today? I saw a lifeless Steeler team today. Lifeless. The Browns were up for it. They were ready for it. They were game for it. You would have thought they were 9-8 going into this game, fighting for a playoff berth. Like I just like, again, I'm with you. I don't understand what was said in the locker room before the game, what the game plan was throughout the week, because it just doesn't make any sense why you wouldn't have like 6 points against the Browns. Like, it shouldn't happen. After you get 29 against the Lions, an objectively better team. Like, the Steeler team just makes absolutely zero sense. Zero. Nobody knows what they are. Nobody.
You know what?
Not even they know what they are.
You know who else wouldn't know what they are? Steelers fans. Steelers fans clamor this every single year. They're like, what the fuck are we doing? What kind of offense is this? What is the message in the locker room? Steelers fans have been wondering this for year after year after year after year after year after year, because yes, you can make it to the playoffs, and yes, you can have all this regular season success, but when it comes down to pivotal matchups and winning these games, the Steelers always seem to fall short. They always seem to just be a couple inches short. And I want to give respect to Mike Tomlin, because he's been doing it for so long. Literally the moniker of consistency, the statue, the figurehead of what is it to be a successful football coach. He wins above 500. He makes playoffs. He's won 2 Super Bowls. He's a Hall of Fame coach, right? We got to talk about getting him the hell out of here, because I love continuity.
You know how I feel about it.
I love continuity, and I love having the same guy in the room. But when this is becoming your standard, is playing below competition, there's a problem. There's a problem. And who does it fall on? The players? Maybe. But you've won with some of these. You won with players who are worse. You've made it 500 all the time, but there's always these losses. So if the team's good enough to be over 500 every single year, but they're not good enough to beat these bottom feeder teams, let's just call it what it is. The Browns are bottom feeder. They're garbage, cesspool, if you will. They're just like the Giants and the Raiders fighting in this tank bowl right now. They're garbage, hot shit, smelly, ugh, gross. You are the standard is just not good enough. And now I'm looking at you from a coaching standpoint instead of the players' playing standpoint. Now we're talking about you. We're putting it on you. So, I don't know. Well, we will definitely talk about it in the offseason, because it's always a hot button topic for at least the last 5 years, getting rid of Mike Tomlin. I feel like that's the favorite hit piece that's never going to come to fruition until it does. So, we'll definitely talk about it. It's interesting. It's interesting, to say the least. But, at least we get a really good game on week 18 that we could look forward to and talk about.
I wouldn't even call it a good game. I mean, this isn't a good game. This is just a game with stakes.
You know what? This is a game with stakes. Not even a good game. That's all right. It's divisional, historic. You know what I mean? Yeah, some stake in there. You know what? Let's hype it up, NFL. Put it on America's Game of the Week.
Well, also there's supposed to be 2 Saturday games. So the idea is maybe they're gonna do Steelers, Ravens for that, and then the other game would be Sunday Night Football. Now the other game. Let's before we get to the game, let's talk about what happened in their games today.
Oh.
So who do you want to start with?
Let's start with my Pookie Bear. Let's get him out the way. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers go into Miami. Tampa Bay is more north than Miami. I think Miami's very south. Miami's south, and Tampa's more up. So they go down south to Miami, and they lose to Quinn Ewers and the Miami Dolphins, 20-17. I've said it before, so I'm going to keep it short. Free my boy Baker Mayfield. He deserves a lot better than this. Free him from the shackles that is Todd Bowles and this inept offense and this defense that is it's whatever at best. Free him from the shackles that is that hellhole. And they don't deserve it again. They don't deserve to be in the playoff spot. If anything, the Panthers deserve it more. Because at least they're overachieving and they're showing me things. They're improving. You guys are on the decline. I don't want anybody on the decline in the playoffs. I think that's one thing that we should do. We should set a rule. If you have lost more than you have won in your final 8 games, you do not deserve a playoff spot. You don't deserve it. And now that's not a rule. That's just me playing fantasy land in my head. So just let me have it. It's my Pookie Bear, damn it. They don't deserve it. Again, they just don't. So it has stakes. This game will be a game with stakes, Outback steaks, 8-ounce steaks, 4-ounce steaks, 12-ounce steaks, 10-ounce steaks, a lot of steaks. But I hope you know what? Tampa Bay, lose. Just get it over with. Just lose because you've been losing up to this point. What's the point of winning next week? There's no point in winning. Why would you win? Why would you break up this nice losing streak, right? Why would you break it up? This is a losing streak for the ages, right, Daniel? The collapse of all collapses. You want to go down with the ship. You don't want the last hurrah, right? Guys, I know you guys are NFL players and you guys always want to make the playoffs and be winners, but you guys just want to go down with the ship and not try to save it? Guys, come on. Why do you want to win? There's no point in winning next week. You've been losing up to this point. Just lose.
Before I give my opinion, first of all, hi chat.
Hi.
We forgot to acknowledge chat when we started. So hi chat.
Oh my gosh.
up,
Hi
guys?
chat. Hi. Oh my god. I have my notes on the screen. I did not have chat on the screen. I'm sorry, guys. Sorry.
Hi Steph. Hi Jess. Hi Michael. I answer this question first before I get to the Bucks. Do I think, because you kind of gave your opinion, Lewis, on Mike Tomlin. I'm of the belief that the Steelers have an organizational problem, and that if they do miss the playoffs, I think that everybody, if Mike Tomlin goes, everybody goes. Everybody. So if the Steelers aren't willing to commit to that, I would keep Tomlin in the room. That's my opinion, right? So unless the quarterback, the defensive coach, the offensive coach, Tomlin, the entire secondary, the entire defense, the entire offense, if they're not willing to part way with everything and tear it all down, start anew, fresh face, everything, don't do it. That's how I feel about it. So if they still think they have a chance to win with the team they have, you keep Tomlin. And they probably feel that way. That's why they're probably going to keep Tomlin, right? At the end of the day, they're going to miss the playoffs by a game, or they're going to be in the playoffs by a game. That's the margin that they've set. So I think their Steeler team is good. It's not great. It's not. You can't call it a bad year when you miss the playoffs by one game. You can't. That's not fair to them, right? You go 8-9, 9-8. It's not fair to call it a bad year. So either you commit to a total rebuild, reconstruction, whatever, or you just keep doing what you've been doing. Because to a degree, from an owner perspective and from an NFL perspective, you are successful and what you're doing is working. Right? But from a fan perspective and from an outsider looking in and like a reporter perspective, It's like, is it really? Can you deem it successful? Right. That's how I look at it. So either it's a total rebuild or it's not.
Yeah, I get it. So Jess was in the chat, right? First off, mad needy. She texted me, "You ignoring chat." Yo, shout out to Jess. Jess will always make sure that we are not ignoring chat. I appreciate you, Jess. Thank you so much. Sorry for ignoring chat. I have my notes on the screen instead of chat, so I will have my notes.
Yes, we did have a chaotic thing before we went live.
Yes.
We were all over the place.
Yeah.
And Lewis is dying because he is sick and he's a man. So when a man has a cold, he's dying. That's just the
Yes.
rules.
When a man has a cold, the world stops. Did you guys know that?
Yes.
The world stops and it revolves around us.
Lewis, this is basically gonna be his last show. He's on his deathbed. He won't be here next week, unfortunately. With a cold. So
woe is me.
well,
God.
I can't be mad because I'm the same way when I'm sick. I'm dying when I'm sick.
Yeah.
But to go back to the Bucks.
God.
Oh God. Where to even? I don't even, because it's so funny to me that we start the show off with like, yeah, these teams like the NFL, the standard is like you need 11 wins to get into the playoffs, right? You need 10, 11 wins to get into the playoffs. The Panthers or the Bucks are gonna be 8-9, win a division, and get in the playoffs. One of these teams is not like the other, or others, right? So I think in the Bucks case, they went to Miami, and Miami, to their credit, has been playing better, right? They had a tough loss against the Steelers, was it? Yeah, the Steelers before they benched Tua.
Mm-hmm.
They started Quinn Ewers. Quinn Ewers actually looked really good today. Shout out to Quinn Ewers. I thought he played really well. But I think like this Bucks team, just kind of what we've been saying the past 3 months. Their defense is meh, and that offense just hasn't been humming as we thought it would, right? And you can't really blame the injuries because everybody was back. Mike Evans is back. Chris Godwin's back. Bucky Irvin's back. And this Miami defense has been okay, but still, it's the Miami defense. Like, you should be dominating this defense with that offense that you have.
Keep going.
And Baker just has not been playing well, right? Like, he had some throws today that were questionable at best. He had a bad interception, and like just that kind of moxie that he had to start the year is gone, right? So I think part of the blame does go on the players, part of the blame goes on the coaching, part of the blame goes on ownership and the team building that was built around this team, right? I don't think this is a one faulter is the word, I think, right? This is like a team-wide organizational fault, right? Everybody has been contributing to this downfall, right? So, and like, even if they make the playoffs, even if they get bounced in the first round the year they had and whatever, it's probably not going to be a deemed successful year. On the eyes of to them and to the league and to the ownership, yeah, it will be because we made it to the playoffs. They're getting a home playoff game, by the way. Let's not forget that. They're going to be 8-9 with a home playoff game. So ownership's going to be very happy about that.
Boo.
So in that situation, you feel like the Bucks, from an ownership perspective, will be happy. But we all know that that's not going to be the case, right? So I don't know. I think Baker has the talent. We've seen that. We've seen this team have the talent, but the way they've been playing, the way like it's been warranted, the losses they've had the past number of weeks just don't warrant anything to say, yeah, they're a good team. They're a mid team at best. And when you lose to Miami, the way Miami looks, and Quinn Ewers, and granted Quinn Ewers played well, when you only put up, what was it, 17 points, just not good enough. Just not. And it's not warranting, like we said before, playoff teams get the job done when they need to. When you lose games like this, you don't deserve to be a playoff team. Period. Stop. That's it. But they have a chance next week because
They don't deserve
The Carolina Panthers also lost at home. And granted, it was to the Seahawks, a much better team than the Dolphins, a number 1 seed in the NFC. So respect to Seattle.
Right? If you're gonna
Who
lose
for the
to a
first
team, you might as well lose to a
Right.
really good team.
Right. And granted, this game was bullshit as well for the first half because it was like 3-3, and Sam Darnold did not look good. But what do good teams do? They find a way to get the job done. The Seattle defense is legit. It's good. It doesn't have a star player, but they know what they're doing. I was watching them on Red Zone today. Some of the tackles they were making, they were vicious. They were tough. They weren't allowing the Panthers to get anything going offensively. Bryce Young was under siege the whole game, and Sam Darnold just does just enough, right? He's doing enough. They have JSN. That's all they need. They keep running the ball over 100 yards every game. That's all they need. They do just enough to get the job done and win the game. So it was a tough game for the Panthers. They played as well as they could. They needed to win. They didn't. The Bucs needed to win. They didn't. Now both of them need to win. And we get a great
Oh, goodness.
7-9 match, or what was it, 7-8 matchup.
I think it's 7-9.
For the
I think they're
division.
both 7-9.
They're both 7-9. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the winner would be 8-9 and win the division.
Oh goodness. Oh god. What mediocre.
But again, Notre Dame can't get into the college football playoffs. But an 8-9 team can.
What happens if there's a tie? That's what I want to know.
That's a great question. I was thinking the same
What
thing.
happens if they both are just like, no, none of us, both of us are going in. We're both making the playoffs.
Hang on. What happens if Bucks and Panthers tie
Yeah.
next week?
And yeah, I need to know. Do they go with like who, like the point differential, or like who's? I don't know what they would.
God,
go.
it took Google a minute to search that.
You know how I feel about ties, Jess. We know how you feel about ties. But you know, it can happen. It's not the playoffs yet, so if this game can theoretically end in a tie, and it shouldn't be allowed this far into the season. You are correct, but it's not far enough. We didn't get there yet. Not far enough, baby. Let me sip my Baker Mayfield tea.
Let me see here.
Yeah, no. You know, we've been saying
I think
these things for the last 4 years about the Tampa Bay and the Panthers. We've been saying this for like the last 4 or 5 weeks. So, sip my tea. Sip my tea. And the
I'm
Giants are gonna
reading-
win
I'm
this
reading.
game. I'm gonna fucking crash out. Giants are
Well,
winning. Why?
I think either way, if the tie happens, the Bucks still win because they have the overall tiebreaker with the Panthers. Is what I'm understanding here.
Well, you know what?
Yeah.
Let's pray for it. You know what? Go Panthers. Go Bryce Young. You know what? If Bryce Young and the Panthers make it to the playoffs, I will put Bryce Young in the top 20 of quarterbacks. I will do it.
It shouldn't be allowed this far into the season. Yeah, it shouldn't be, but this is the NFL.
This is the NFL,
Nothing
and
makes
it
sense.
is. It's not the playoffs
Yeah.
yet, even though both teams don't deserve to be there. You are.
I mean,
still-
they could do what baseball does and just have like a one gamer. Like baseball has a game 163 if there's a tie at the top of the division.
Yeah, but NFL ain't doing that shit.
No, they're not.
They ain't doing that.
They're not.
Imagine they're like, all right, guys, run it back. Another 60 minutes. Run it back.
Well, I think what they could do
Run
is
it
they
back.
could just have like a special, like, we're doing playoff rules, so it doesn't end in a tie.
I don't know. I don't even
You
know.
remember that game when it? Remember when it was Raiders Chargers, and both teams would have won if it was a tie,
Mm-hmm.
and the Raiders score like in the last minute to beat the Chargers in overtime,
Yep.
and that pissed off the Charger fans.
Mm-hmm. Listen, guys,
Speaking of the
they could have both been in the playoffs if it was a tie, but it was not. I think it was because like they were like one team was actively trying to win the game, and they were like, "Oh wait, you guys are trying to win the game? Man, fuck y'all, we gonna win it." And then they just kind of got like real petty, because at one point it was like, "Okay, we're just gonna run out the clock," and then there was something that happened to where they're trying to like actually win, and they're like, "Guys, oh, you don't want to tie?
oh, wait a minute.
wait a minute. Try to win the game? Chill out. We're gonna win it. Chill out." So there we go. That's another matchup I'm not really looking forward to, but
So so if you're the NFL, right? So say God forbid you're a schedule maker, right?
Mhm.
Hardest job in the NFL, right?
Mhm.
Obviously.
Yeah.
What do? Do you put Ravens Steelers on Sunday night, or do you put Bucks Panthers Sunday night, and the other team will go Saturday night? What do? I think I know what's gonna happen.
How about both of these teams combine into two big teams, and then we duke it out like that? Steelers and Bucks versus the Ravens and the Panthers. And if one team wins, then they both get
They both get
in. I'm dying.
the Steelers logo is like it's a Bucks flag with the Steelers logo in it,
Mm-hmm.
and then the Panthers logo is like a raven carrying a panther,
You know,
like by like its talon.
make it fun, you know, because these teams are jokes. So let's just make it real fun. You know, if it's a joke, let's just laugh. Oh, goodness. Okay. Well, that's pretty much
Chat,
it
what do you think?
for...
Chat, who do you want to see?
Yeah. Who do you want to see win? Who do we want to see on Sunday night? I would probably want to see Tampa Sunday night because, you know, opportunity to go live. That's my boy, Baker. So it's an opportunity for some content. You know, you can see me cry or, you know, just absolutely
Crash out.
berate him live on air. So, you know, that'd be fun.
It'd be the second time you crash out on Sunday Night Football
Yes, it would. When was the first time I crashed out?
when the Giants played the Chiefs.
Oh,
ended
yeah.
The recording early because you were just going off on Brian Dable.
Yeah. You called me at a bad time. Yeah. But then Jackson Dart came in and he gave me some life, so I'm a bit more positive right now. But I'm not positive right now because the Giants are winning. Giants are winning 20-3 in the Tank Bowl. Yay.
So Lewis is watching the Tank Bowl. I'm watching Eagles Bills. This Eagle offense is up 13-0. This Bills offense has done jack shit. They can't establish a run. Their O-line is poo-poo garbage right now. And this Eagle defense is destroying Josh Allen right now.
Oh my God, touchdown Raiders. Please come back, please. Yes, Tyler Lockett. Please, Raiders, do something improbable. Come back and win, baby. Please. You got a whole quarter left. Gonna be down by 10. Guys, please.
Just a win, baby.
Just win, baby. Maybe the house ain't always right. Please, guys, please lose. Please, Giants.
Unreal.
But
Unreal.
tell me
The
about that
Tank Bowl.
Eagles-Bills game, because like Eagles just smoking them right now is, you know, that's a crazy game right there.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've just been watching. I started on Red Zone, then I switched over to their live broadcast. Jalen Hurts is playing Jalen Hurts. He's 13 of 20 for 110 yards and touchdown. That's kind of how it's been. They're running the ball with Saquon a little bit right now because they're up. But it's mainly been the Bills' offense just getting nothing going. Nothing. They have 6 first downs through what is it? 35 minutes of actual play. Josh Allen has not looked himself, and that offensive line just been getting pummeled the whole game.
Yeah.
Like the Eagles defense is playing really well, and they have been for a while. They're playing well here. And it's what I've been saying about the Bills the past couple of weeks too. Is like I just don't trust them right now. I don't trust that offensive line. And when they play a stout defense, they struggle.
Yeah.
I think you're seeing that here. They're struggling against a really stout defense. Josh Allen can only do so much sometimes. And if they can't run the ball with James Cook, the receivers just aren't good enough. And if Josh Allen can't run the ball, it's tough.
But,
So
Jess put in the chat, Bills may be losing, but we've seen Josh come alive in the last 15 minutes of the game. So we don't know.
we have
Maybe the Bills, all of a sudden, they can run the ball. Josh Allen becomes him, right? They're only down by 13. This isn't like the biggest lead ever, right? We've seen teams come back from that. So, I give Josh benefits of the doubt because he's just that elite. So,
Mhm.
still, what's the time?
There's 13:30 left to go in the third. A lot of time left.
A lot of time.
A lot of time.
A lot of
left.
time. A lot of
So
time.
this
A
game,
lot of time.
yeah. But just the first half overall just has not been good from the Bills offensively. Defensively, they're playing really well.
Yeah.
I will say.
Only holding the Eagles to 13 points is really good.
Yeah, it's also like raining bad. Like
Oh,
it's raining very bad
that
over
sucks.
there. Hurts running for his life, looking incomplete. But yeah, big game for the Bills. They need it. If they win, they still have a chance for the division.
Mm-hmm.
If they beat the Jets next week, which they will, and the Pats lose, they would take over the division lead. But if they lose, then that's it. The Pats win the division. The Bills will be a wild card team. And the Eagles, I think, are stuck where they are. I think they're going to be the 4th seed regardless of what happens.
Yeah.
Going forward. So,
Well,
big game for Buffalo in Buffalo.
big game. Big
Possible
game.
Super Bowl matchup. Possible.
Oh,
what a punt! Down at the yo, we talked about this yesterday, bro. I love punts.
Who punted?
I love great
Who
punts.
punted?
The Eagles.
Eagles punted.
Brendan Mann.
Ooh.
Down at the 1.
Oh my God, Deontay Banks. Kickoff, and he's gone. Oh.
You're getting the 2nd overall pick. Yay! You're getting the 2nd overall pick.
These are hauls, by the way, guys. I need a stress eat. That's 2 down the hatch. All right.
That's too.
All right. Come on, hold on. I'm going for my 3rd. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We're going for 4.
Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah.
We're crashing out.
Turn. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're fucking going out. What the fuck? Fucking can't really stick no more, man. I hate it. I hate it here. Every time we watch something good, the team over there wants to win. I hate it here. Take down this. They're lucky I put a nail in this wall. They are so lucky I put a nail in this wall. I would throw this shit on the ground right now. You're a disgrace. You are a disgrace. What are the Jets gonna do if? What are the Jets gonna do if? At quarterback,
Raiders
if the
get-
Raiders got the number 1 overall pick, then
Punt to next year.
yeah,
Punt to next year.
or trade up,
Go
still
next
trade up
year,
with the
so.
Giants for the 2nd overall pick and get Dante Moore. Maybe, I don't know. But it's
I don't want
fucking
Dante Moore.
stupid.
Me personally, I don't want Dante Moore. I don't like Dante Moore as a quarterback. I think he needs more years to develop. I like next year's draft more. I think there's more options next year. I wouldn't mind drafting skill position or trading down and getting a wide receiver, or going high defense with this pick, at 2, whatever it is, or trading down, getting a stud defensive player. I wouldn't mind that. And then the 2nd or 3rd round, if he's still there, take a waiver on Diego Pavia. I don't mind that. And I don't mind getting a veteran quarterback here for next year. And granted, we're going to lose next year, but that's fine, right? Because we're going for the pick next year in next year's draft anyway, right? Because there's more quarterbacks coming out next year that are better, in my opinion. And getting a veteran guy and bringing or Kyler Murray, whatever, Kirk Cousins, Malik Willis, whatever, somebody who could lead an offense, lose, and then eventually, turn it over to Pavi and see what he can do. It's a low risk situation. If he's bad, he's bad. If he's good, he's good. I don't hate that.
Guys, imagine a year when the Jets don't have a top 10 draft pick. That'll never happen. No, I'm playing.
Never happen.
That's never gonna be a possibility. Arrgh! You never will get out of purgatory. Stop. But Squire, I just want to be free. No, you are stuck in the top 10 of the draft every single year. I'm salty. I'm sorry. I'm coping.
You are very.
We're up 27-10. Where the fuck was this?
You know what's funny?
Where
You know what's funny?
Where was
Here's the thing: the Giants don't need the number 1 overall pick. They don't. They have their
don't.
quarterback, right?
Yeah,
They're not
yeah.
drafting quarterback,
Yeah.
and you're not drafting like a running back or a defensive end with the first overall pick. You're not,
for sure.
right?
Mm-hmm.
You need the pick to get more picks.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
That's why Lewis is
Yeah,
crashing
yeah,
out
yeah.
because he knows that
You know.
the Giants can recoup more picks and draft more talent with those picks.
Yeah.
That's why this game matters to the Giants. They don't need a quarterback. They
Yeah.
just need to get.
You
more
know,
picks.
Deontay Banks can't fucking cover any NFL wide receiver, but he loves to put the ball in the end zone on a kick return. Boy, isn't it great to just watch you play football. You're a disgrace. Disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful. It's hideous.
Imagine complaining when winning a game.
You know what this is? We're 2-13. Lose. You've been doing it all year. Now all of a sudden, we can't lose. Now all of a sudden, losing is not an option. We've been losing 13 times. Now losing is
Who do you play
not.
next week?
Now losing is just blase blah. Ha. Losing, that's not in our cards. Now all of a sudden we want to play good. Now all of a sudden we want to use
also-
our talent. Crazy.
It's also very funny that if the Giants do lose, which they still can, if they do, they are getting the first overall pick. That's confirmed. They're locked into that. If they win and the Raiders lose, next week the Raiders have to lose and the Giants have to. The Raiders have to win and the Giants have to lose. The Giants get the first overall pick back.
But listen,
So it's not complete.
Tom Brady is the GOAT of the sport. You know he's saying in that locker room, hey guys, have fun. He's not saying go win. He's saying just ball and have fun. And you know what the Raiders don't do on Sundays? Have fun playing football because it's a bunch of losing. And Tom Brady is not going to let that shit slide. He's going to make them lose. Fucking hate the Giants. They did it last year too. Absolutely horrific.
So the Raiders play the Chiefs next week, and the Giants play the Cowboys. So if the Raiders win and the Giants lose to the Cowboys, which are both very real possibilities with how both teams are, you may get the first overall pick again. This game might not matter.
Word. Yeah, for sure.
Word.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I hate it.
I love rage baiting you. It's the funniest thing.
I hate it. Fucking dog shit team. Terrible organization. From the top to the bottom. Terrible. It's almost like they didn't get the message. You know what I mean, every single year, it's almost like the Giants players never get the message. Just fucking suck. You've sucked all year. Now all of a sudden you don't want to suck? What's up with y'all? Hate this team. Hate this organization. Can never have nothing nice. Could have had Jaden Daniels or Drake May. But instead, you wanted to fucking win a game against the Colts. You wanted a meaningless game that meant nothing but empty stats.
All right. Let's preview the Niners-Bears game for tonight, which we will be going live for. Niners at home, 11-4. Bears, 11-4. This is for the second overall seed in the NFC.
Really good game.
Really good game. The Bears are missing possibly their entire wide receiver room. Rome Odunze is out, and other receivers are not hurt. They're sick.
Yeah, they
This
all
is
a
questionable.
lot of them got an illness. So I guess a lot of them just
Yeah.
got the common cold. But they're men, so we're basically on our deathbed.
Right.
Yeah, so they're all sitting in the room like, I can't go, but then they take like a warm shot of tea and ginger, and like all of a sudden, doo 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 doo, here we go, like we're good.
They're also in Santa Clara, nice weather,
Nice weather.
58 degrees on game time.
That's
That's pretty
nice.
nice.
That's nice. Really nice.
So it's good weather to be sick in. They're not in Chicago, so that's good for them.
Yeah.
Did you know that Caleb Williams has a nickname now, dubbed by Bears fans?
What's the nickname?
They're calling him the Iceman because he plays well in the cold.
Ooh, that's a good one, guys. It's a good one. Doesn't fit him at all, but I'll take it. Fine.
No.
You guys have won the NFC North. You guys can call him whatever you can call him Big Daddy. I don't care. It all makes sense. You guys are the NFC North champions, so who cares? Why not? Sure, why not? Call him the Iceman. Call him Ice T, Ice Cube, Iceman, Ice Boy, Ice Spice. Call him whatever you want. Vanilla Ice. Call him anything. It works. George Kittle's also out for this game for the 49ers. As if the 49ers haven't dealt with injury this entire year, and now all of a sudden, when it's a game that Daniel will be here to watch, all of a sudden their number one pass catcher won't be in the game, and potentially hurting Brock Purdy's performance. All of a sudden.
What can I say?
But I think it's gonna be a good game. The matchup that I'm looking forward to is the 49ers offense versus the Bears defense. How are the 49ers offensive scheme going to be able to match up and potentially score against this Bears defense that's it's been pretty good.
Yeah.
That's going to be my thing. And is the Bears offense going to struggle against a Robert Saleh led defense? Robert
Right.
Saleh has had that group overperforming this whole year, but we've seen them get carved up. So if Caleb Williams is, if this is a show out party for, potentially other teams to, what they have to worry about come playoff time, right? Like,
Yeah.
you're going to show them, that flashy throws, highlight throws, escapability out the pocket, and, just good timing, good rhythm, and, potentially winning this game. So I'm excited. It's a game with two 11-win teams. Oh, my God, Geno Smith threw a pick. Okay. You see, that's how you tank effectively. That's how you tank! That is how you tank! That's how you tank, Daniel. That's how you do it. That is Jackson Dart. You're too talented. You're too good. Oh, now Geno Smith's on the ground. Prayers to him. Probably dealing with a real injury. But now he's on the ground. You see, that's how you tank, boys. That's how you get it done. Go ahead.
Yeah. Sunday football, I agree.
Business as usual.
Sunday football, I agree. Yeah, I'm interested to see. I think Christian McCaffrey is going to be a big part of the game plan for the Niners, as he always is. So we'll see what the Bears defense can do against that. How they're able to stack up against that. We'll see if Caleb Williams has anybody to throw the ball to, but it's going to come. I think this is going to be a big running game for both teams. You have McCaffrey for the Niners, obviously, in that run defense. But then you have Kyle Monangai and DeAndre Swift for the Bears, who have just been money the past 2-3 months. So we'll see what happens there. So we'll see. I think whoever can stop the run more is probably gonna have the better chance to win. I think both quarterbacks are equal in what they are. You might disagree, but that's how I feel. So I think it's gonna come down to whoever can stop the run more, whoever can be more effective defensively, obviously. And we'll go from there. But again, I feel personally that I think the Bears just have the edge, especially if Caleb Williams can have somebody he can throw the ball to. I think that O-line is better. I think that defense played well against the Colts, but it is the Colts and Philip Rivers led. So, and granted, they gave points to Philip Rivers, so we'll see how it looks. And also that defense for the Colts couldn't get off the field. So we'll see. I think it could be a much tougher game for the Niners. Important game for both teams. Like if the Niners win, they play Seattle next week, and if they win that game, they get the first overall seed, which is kind of crazy to think about. Um, but I think if the Bears win and they win next week, and Seattle loses, I think the Bears are the first overall seed. So important game for both teams for standing wise and for whatever reason. But I feel like the Bears, personally and objectively, if they're okay to go and the receivers are there, I think that offense is just a little bit better right now than our offense. And yes, this is a hate watch, generational hate watch.
Generational. Yeah. Yeah, sure. Whatever. Yeah, sure. Go bear down or whatever. Yeah. Bear down. Gold up. I don't know what the 49ers do. They're too traditional.
I don't know if they
They don't
either.
have anything cool like that. They're just like, yeah, we're good. Fucking, I'm sad. You know, it's every year with this fucking shitty team. You know, why can't we've won games, a couple years ago with Tommy DeVito. Giants don't know how to tank properly. They don't understand. Like this is a terrible job. John Mara, I need him to go because your communication. What the fuck? I know you don't want to win this game. You want the best thing for your franchise. Did you not get? Did the message not get down to the floor? You were at the roof of the house. Did the message just not? The message didn't get down. It didn't get relayed. Yeah. Oh, look at Jackson Dart. Well, look at Wando Robinson again. He's cooking in fantasy. I'm probably gonna win that fantasy matchup now because of
Right back.
Yeah. Don't be surprised if Niners lose. I can see it happening. Yeah. Yeah, they could lose. Especially with Kittle out, that's a big weapon that, is just not going to be there. So it's gonna be a bit of a tough thing for the Niners to have to adjust to, and Brock Purdy not having at least his security blanket there, but he does have Christian McCaffrey still. He does have what's his name, Jawan Jennings, and the running game and the short pass game is gonna have to be effective. If the 49ers are as good as they say they are, they're playing a really good team and they gotta look good. You could lose. They have Bang Bang Niner Gang. Man, ain't nobody's calling that shit, man. Ain't nobody does that. Bang Bang Niner Gang. Nobody does that. But yeah, that's it's gonna be interesting, chat. It's gonna be interesting. Just watching this tank bowl, just watching the Giants. Up 27-10. It's a lot of fun. I've been crashing out a little bit. Jackson Dart. Oh, completes it. Oh, first down. Business as usual. Business as usual.
All right, I'm back.
Business as usual.
How we looking?
Well, Jackson Dart completes a third down. Another one. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
The number two. The number 2 overall pick still has good value. Not worried about it.
You could draft Dante Moore.
Boo. No. No. Ew. No. I don't fucking want him neither. Fuck that.
Why did it take you so long to process
Ew.
that?
I don't know, man. I'm running on fumes. I don't know, man.
Remember, you take the 6'5.5" guy if he's there. You have to take the 6'5.5" quarterback.
I want to crash out. I want to throw my computer at a wall. Oh no, Jackson Dart. Oh, another pass completion. Oh my goodness! Wow, that's crazy. You see, and now I just can't wait for the conversation to switch about Jackson Dart being like, oh, we need to draft him, but Jackson Dart showed me some good stuff against the Raiders, guys. They'll think should be dead. I can't wait for the whole narrative to shift. He had one bad game as a rookie. Oh, God forbid a rookie plays bad. Huh? Crazy.
All right. Do you show like the NBA games that happened on Christmas?
Yeah, we should. Yeah, let's get into it. There's a couple games. I think the three biggest games that I want to talk about is obviously New York owns Christmas, baby. The Knicks own Christmas, baby. The Knicks get it done. Nail biter.
Yeah.
We're down a little bit, in the game,
Yep.
down by 17. And the Knicks find a way to come back. Tyler Kolek, the generational white boy that New York has been asking for years. He's on his
Yep.
Linsanity run right now, and he's cooking. And he's playing great. Brunson, I mean, that brother, when it comes down to being clutch, he just does not mess up. Does not mess up. And, when the going gets tough, you give him the ball and you get out the way. And as long as you can get a couple stops, the Knicks can win every single game. What did you think about this game, Dan?
Yeah, I went to this game, with mild expectations. The Cavs are a decent team. I know how you feel about Donovan Mitchell, but he is a great player, and he showed out here as well. Um, this team was down 18-3, in the first quarter, came all the way back to eventually get the lead and tie it, after the second. So, look, I think this Nick team has a little bit of everything, right? They have scoring. They have two stars in Towns and Brunson. Defensively, OJ Anunoby's having a career year. Mikal Bridges is doing his thing as well. Josh Hart doing a little bit of everything as well. This bench for the Knicks, right? We have a bench. Tibbs just didn't play it, right? Mitchell Robinson is a beast on the boards. 13 boards here, eight offensive rebounds. He's a difference maker when he's out there. You have Jordan Clarkson, 25 points off the bench. Kolek, 16 points off the bench. Mohamed Diawara doing his thing, right? Like, you have players who can come off this bench and do really good things, right? So I think that's where you see the biggest difference with this team from last year to this year, is that you have guys who are able to come in and contribute, but also like balance this team out. Like Tyler Kolek comes in and he could be a secondary ball handler for Jalen Brunson. Him and Brunson in the backcourt create so much pressure on the opposing defense because they can both create either way, right? Jordan Clarkson is a sharpshooter who's going to be a chucker, but he's going to make a lot of baskets. He was 5 for 10 for 3. That's kind of been his game all year. And he's a great scorer. He's used to be a starter. He's probably the sixth man right now on this team. And Mitchell Robinson off the bench he's a wrecking ball for anyone who comes in to face him. Like, he's so good on the glass, on the boards. He contributes so many different ways. Like, this bench is legit, right? So I think that's where you see the biggest difference with this team. And granted, you still don't have Landry Shamet and Miles McBride, who will come in and also contribute to this bench as well. So there's still a lot to come. But I think you saw a lot of fight. You saw a lot of desire. And the biggest problem was scoring. They scored 42 points in the fourth quarter. They hit timely shots. They knocked down big threes. You're seeing early on big shot making, big, clutch moments. You're seeing big, smart possessions. You're not turning the ball over as much, and you're seeing contributions all throughout your team. Not even like your starters, throughout your team. So if anybody has a bad game, somebody's gonna be able to pick them up. You don't need Brunson to score. You don't need Towns to score. You could do it collectively and it could work. That's why this team, I think, is very good right now. You're seeing collectively this team kind of forming like its identity and how it's going to work, and that it's going to be fast paced, a lot of scoring, a lot of sharing the ball, different contributions every night. No one's going to be under pressure to get the bucket, a lot less isolation. But when you need it and when you need somebody to step up, you have the guys that can do it. And I think that's what this Knicks team has improved for the past couple of weeks right now. And you saw it on Christmas how good this team can be.
I concur. I mean, just watching, the Knicks come back and, making those timely shots and being able to come back in the fourth quarter was huge. On Christmas, the Knicks own Christmas at this point. And, to keep the momentum going. It's a good team. Cavs team.
Yeah.
I get it, maybe not at the fullest strength that they could be, but, pretty damn close. Cavs are still a good team even without, one or two guys. So this is a good win. Good win in conference. You win it. Sure, there were some moments where like, oh, this is like awful basketball, but you come back and win in the fourth. Nobody's gonna be mad about that, especially on Christmas. Now,
The thing about this Knicks team before we move on to the next game,
mhm.
real quick, they're a slow starter.
Hmm.
They usually don't have good first quarters or good third quarters, but when they need to pick it up, they pick it up. So I think that's what I've kind of been noticing with this team as well. It's been trending. They don't start games good, but they're really good at closing them out, and that's what matters.
Yeah, but you know who probably is gonna be upset after losing on Christmas? It's the OKC Thunder because they lose for the third time this year to the Spurs. They're on the verge of getting swept in the season series. This is a problem. It's a problem. In OKC, maybe they finally met their match. When
So what are you noticing from the Spurs that are making them kind of struggle?
So hold on, let me see if I could pinpoint it. It's one guy who's like really tall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, real tall. I think his name is what is it? What's his name? Victor Webber something like that, right? But he's really tall and good. And they also have really good guard play and really good defense. They have a talented young roster as well. And Victor Wembanyama being the spearhead on defense, they can't really get to the spots that they want to, and even if they do, there's a guy in help who's 7'5". Doesn't have to jump to contest your shot. So that also sucks for them. Just getting past his length, he makes everything so difficult for the OKC Thunder, and you see it. They're just it's not as easy baskets as you would like it to be. They have to address that issue. They have to, there has to be like a surviving Wemby documentary, because are they? I don't know if they're going to be able to survive this, because when you have a team that this is your kryptonite, maybe in the playoffs, it's a different story. The intensity ramps up. This is only the beginning of the year, right? This is only their like fourth loss. 3 of them are to the Spurs. So they're still a very good team, very capable team. So we'll see come playoff time, because they will be in the playoffs unless a generational collapse happens. So, they're going to have to, play them at some point, depending on the seeding. Oh God, Jackson Dart. Okay, thank you. Incomplete, please. And yeah. Wembanyama is the difference maker, truly. He's an alien. He's a unicorn. He's everything that is weird on the basketball court, and it's good, and it works.
Yeah. No, I think you're starting to see a good budding rivalry, which is good for the NBA. You see Wemby's out there. He wants to beat the Thunder. Like, he's a good competitor. He's a fun competitor. This is what he does. So I think it's good for the NBA. I think it's good for the league that they do have a stopper for the Thunder. Wemby is a problem. He's a big problem. He's 7'5", can shoot the three, doesn't have to jump, doesn't have to, but when he does, he's like 9 feet tall. So problem. He could score at ease. He can move like a guard. He can run like a guard. So I think Wembanyama is proving that he's going to be the new, I guess not pseudo face, be one of those guys where it's like, we're facing Wemby tonight, guys. Shit. So, but I think part of why the Spurs work is their guard play. DeJounte Murray is a very good guard. He's done very well. De'Aaron Fox coming in was a big trade that's worked out well for them. They're well coached. They have a good team there. So if there is a matchup in the playoffs, I would love to see it. I want to see kind of how OKC will adjust, because Chet Holmgren or Isaiah Hartenstein on Wemby is not going to work. It's just not. So we'll see what happens there. Allen 4th and goal, and he's going to be short, and the Bills still have not scored. 2:16 left to go in the third. Still 13-0. And then you had the bullshit game that pissed me off the most.
Mavericks and
That was,
Warriors.
yeah. AD got hurt in second quarter, and that was pretty much it. Killed my lay.
Yep.
Killed our picks.
Yep.
Cooper Fly got a good game.
Yep.
But AD gets hurt again.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That was it.
That's pretty much it there. And then, we could just where are the picks? Where did I have them? In my notes. Here they are. We both picked the Thunder. We both picked the Mavericks. That sucks. But we picked the Rockets. Rockets get us nice win against the Lakers. Rockets look really good. And the Giants score again. Okay. Well, the Giants fans are sad, even though we scored. Just want to cry a little bit. Oh, who's? Oh, did Jackson Dart just run it in for a touchdown? Well, I know Mendoza can't do that, so there's that. Right. Anyway, Rockets get a good win.
Pissed JJ Redick off the most. Was like, I'm not doing that for 50 more games this year. So maybe complacency. Maybe the Lakers are, faltering. Maybe. LeBron, Luka, what's going on over there, guys? We don't want to play anymore.
Chat. Chat. Might be possible, chat. Talk to me, chat.
But what we said about the Rockets is exactly what happened. Their team's deeper. Their team's younger. No, it had no one to guard Sengun. Kevin Durant didn't have to do much because the team around him is already very good.
Mm-hmm.
And they
Smith's
just overwhelmed
good.
the
Amen
Lakers.
Thompson's good. Like, they just have a better team. They're just better constructed. So there's that. And then we had Game of the Year.
Possibly.
The Denver Nuggets
Yeah.
barely eke out a win against the Timberwolves, 142-138. I will say right now, I did not watch this game. It's 10:30 at night. I am tired. I go to bed. So I'm looking at highlights, and Jokic goes the fuck off every single time. His stat line was ridiculous. Anthony Edwards, the shot in the corner, ridiculous. And the Nuggets find a way to pull it out again. Jokic is the MVP. Doesn't matter. He's been the MVP for like the last 5 years. Yeah, he's just too
Half
good.
triple-double.
Yeah.
I think he had like, what was it? He scored 35, had like 15 assists, and like contributed like 75 points. Other Nuggets like 128 points, which is disgusting.
Let me look it up here. Let me look up his game log. Oh yeah, just 149 fantasy points. Oh yeah, 56 points, 16 rebounds, and 15 assists.
Yeah,
just fucking criminal dirty. And he's the MVP of the league. He's averaging 30,
I said it
11 and 12.
Yeah. Yeah, he's the MVP.
What are we doing? He's the MVP.
And I said, Rudy probably not be able. Rudy hasn't been able to guard him his entire career. It wasn't going to start now. Mm-hmm. Anthony Edwards crashed out at the end of this game. He got ejected for a dumb reason. That should not have been ejected, but it's the NBA, so it happens. So yeah, a really close game, really fun game. Jokic is probably going to win the MVP again. He's just that good again. Nobody can stop him. Nobody's going to stop him. How old is he? I think he's been doing this for at least 10 years.
Yeah.
How old is
he? Yo, I'm looking at Jackson Dart and Mike Kafka laugh on the sideline. You pieces of shit! You guys suck! I hate you. You want to win now. Crazy. Love it. Yeah, just don't, yeah. That's why Mike Kafka is going to be gone after this year. You sack of potatoes. You bologna sandwich. You piece of crap. I hate you. The one time we need you guys to lose, you always fucking win! Always win! We're not going anywhere! We're not doing anything!
It's crazy, too, because the Giants benched half their starters, too.
Now Kenny Pickett's in the game. Oh, God. Yeah, we're winning. We're winning the game.
Bills, Eagles going to the fourth. Eagles still up 13-0.
Pain and misery. When we need them to lose, they win. When we want them to win, they lose. You can't make this shit up anymore. It's been like this for the last 3 to 4 years. Yeah, just win a meaningless game. Yeah. Oh, morale boost. What a nice morale boost. Fuck morale. Your season's dead. Your morale's in the fucking gutter. And all of a sudden, man, this is a good team win. Shut up. That fucking stupidity. Shut up. I'm tired of this shit, man. We're 2-13, and now we want to score 34 points. Now we want to fucking look competent. Now we want to have good play calling. Absolutely horrific.
You're also playing the Raiders.
I don't care. They're just as shit as us.
That's what I'm saying. You're doing this against the other shit team, probably the worst team in the NFL. So, how much can we take away from this game?
You could take away that ownership doesn't want their team to succeed long term. You could take it as that. Yep. Fire Joe.
I want to say so.
I
want
John Marisol the team. This is horrific. The message, the culture just can't get passed down. The message that we're sending is win meaningless games. Win meaningless games. Lose all the ones that mean shit. Just win meaningless games. Horrific. I hate this team. I hate it so much. I want the season to be over so much.
I want to say something that's gonna cause an argument, so I almost don't want to say
it. Say it.
Say it. You're seeing red right now.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. So I don't want to say what I'm gonna say because I know you're gonna crash out on me.
Just do it. Just do it, please. Just let it happen, please.
I think you're overreacting.
Oh, I fucking can't.
For getting the first overall, for not getting the first overall pick.
And I'm not even gonna put my headphones on. You rage baiting piece of shit. Fuck that. I can't with you, Daniel, my co-host.
Wait.
My brother, I can't. I can't hear you. La 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 la. Giants need to fucking lose. First overall pick, baby. We need picks. We need to be good. We need more talent. We have no depth. I don't care. I'm not done. I'm crashing out now. I wish I had more halls to just engulf, just so I can like fucking really crash out. I'm hungry. Put back my headphones on. Okay. What do you have to say? What do you have to say for yourself? Go ahead.
Can I explain? Can I explain?
Go ahead.
Okay. I've been saying this all year, right? I don't think this Giant team is that far away. Mm-hmm. I think you have the quarterback, you have a decent O-line, and you have a good defensive line, and your receiver room needs improvement. Mm-hmm. You have a good running back room, right? I don't think you need a drastic overhaul of pieces, right? And if you were to get the first overall pick and acquire an extra draft pick or two the next 2 or 3 years, while it is good, it still doesn't solve your issue right now, right? You still need more talent. You still need better talent, younger talent, but you have your core pieces in place. If you didn't have the quarterback, if you didn't have the receiver, if you didn't have the overall pieces set in place, I would say, yeah, you're justified in having this bad crash out, and that number one overall pick is needed. I wouldn't say it's needed for this Giant team. It's nice. It's nice that you could trade that pick and get more picks, right? Yeah. That's obvious. But was it a necessity or is it a want? I feel like for the Giants, it's a want more than a necessity. Because even if you were to trade that pick, go down to 4 or 5, yeah, you get an extra 2 or 3 picks, right? But you're in the same situation that you were the previous year. So my thing is like, I understand your point. I'm not disagreeing with it. I'm not. But I'm saying that I don't think you need to warrant a big crash out for winning this game and going from 1 to 2. Because you don't need to draft the quarterback. You don't need to draft a certain player. You can kind of have free reign to do whatever you want.
Yeah. I disagree. This Giants team needs all the help that they can get, and just getting more picks in the first round just helps you. You have more chances to hit, I would say.
It does.
You're not guaranteed a good player. The player could just be bad, or you cannot develop him properly. So it's the draft is pretty much all like potential, right? So and potential sometimes just crashes and burns like a shooting star. So there's that, and the Giants, have had a track record of having picks just go down the wayside. And what happened to Evan Neal? Pieces of shit. So it's a valid thing. But I think if you're the Giants, and success has been very scarce over the last 3 to 4 years, you at least give yourself that chance to be wrong. You give yourself that chance of, what if you're right? What if you make a good pick? What if you draft Arvell Reese? You trade back with the Jets. The Jets go up. They take their quarterback. They get their franchise guy. And then we go down. We draft one of a stud defensive players. And then our defense just gets more better. Right? And then what if with one of those Colts picks, we draft a receiver. We draft Carnell Tate. Right? We draft another receiver. We draft something Lemon. I forgot. Malik Lemon. There we go. We draft him to come in the room. Right, another young, explosive talent. Right, gives us a chance. Right, get some youth in the room, get some talent in the room. Right, without having to spend too much money, not too much money. Right, you got these guys for 4 years now. Right, you got them under control. Develop them. See what happens. Right, you got a new coach. You're probably gonna get a new GM. Just get as many picks as you can. Give yourself that option to be wrong, because you don't know. You may be right.
All right, Ricky Bobby, relax.
You might be right, and that's the thing. Like nothing is guaranteed, right? The first overall pick could be a flop. The second overall pick, third overall, everybody could just be a flop in this draft. But you set yourself up for not only this year, but also for next year's draft, for next year, for years with an S at the end, multiple, more than one. And you know how I feel. I would love 2 seasons in a row of good Giants football. I would love that. I would love that so much. And we haven't had that in so long. It's been so long since we've had 2 good years back to back. It would be nice to ride on a high and go win and have a good year 1 year, and then potentially be successful another. It'd be nice. So I think, second overall pick has value too. Maybe people like Dante Moore. Maybe somebody trades up and says, you know what, we're going to give you a lot of picks. And then maybe this is a stupid take and it means nothing at this point. But I think the first overall pick just holds so much weight. And you don't need it. You don't need it. But you do. You do need it. Because, boy, having that card in your hand is very powerful. It's like an ace in poker. I don't play poker, but having an ace in poker is really good, apparently. Right, Daniel?
To quote Jess, this is the greed they talk about in the Bible.
You know what? You're right. But I don't care. I don't give a fuck. And we win 34-10. We also blew them out. It couldn't even be a close game. We're like, we just got the best of them. Late field goal. You know what I mean? We blew them out the water. They didn't stand a chance. I hate it here.
Gonna be a fun night in Vegas for those boys. Listen, it's a want, not a need. You'll be fine.
You're right.
There's also next week.
Will we, though? Will we? What if we're not? Huh? Let's play the if game. What if we're not fine? What if we continue to be garbage?
Then you continue to be garbage. If we do the if game, if you get the first overall pick, which is still possible, and you trade that pick and you you pull the trigger on a defensive guy and he doesn't work out, then what? and you do the same thing again next year,
You know what it is?
and then that pick doesn't work
You
out.
know what it is?
What if the following year pick doesn't work
know
out?
what I would say?
What if the following year picks doesn't work out?
know what I say?
If.
You know what I would say to that? At least we tried. We tried.
Yeah.
We gave it our
You tried
biggest
the second overall
hooray!
pick too.
Go team! And then it sucked.
My problem and my thing is that the Giants need to get the right coach who could develop these picks so that they do work. Not if, do. That to me should be the higher priority for the Giants in taking the first overall pick. Making sure they bring in the right coach to do the do to the if. This coach needs to do right and develop them so that they do become stars. Not if.
You know, every Giants fan wants to jump out of their chair and through the screen and just like collectively just because they're like, dude, we need it. We need to lose. We need to lose like the fucking Jets did
Okay.
today. We
Go
need
do
that.
the Jets.
We
Do you
need
see
that.
me jumping up and down?
We need that.
I'm not
We
happy
need that.
because we can't trade with the Raiders for the pick. You think I'm happy? I'm not crashing out like you are.
Well, you could trade with the Raiders. You could.
We could trade with the Raiders. Hey,
The Raiders will take a bit though. So
listen.
you're getting the
Listen,
second pick if anything. You're trading with us. Hey. Good deal. There you go.
The thing is, like, I don't want that. I don't want Dante Moore. I don't like Dante Moore. He's not my guy. Fernando Mendoza could do the funniest thing, though. Do the funniest thing.
And come back to college.
And come back to college.
He could. He could.
He could.
That'd be really funny if he did. It'd be really funny if he did.
You know what? Alabama, smoke him. Smoke him. So that he can go back to college.
Why not?
Why not?
Why not? Yeah, let them take Dante Moore. Yeah. Let them do it. Go ahead. Let it happen. You know.
That would be
But yeah,
so
that's been the episode. We're gonna be going live for
Do
Bears.
we want to say at the end of the Buffalo game?
What's the score?
Still 13-0.
What's the time?
I think there's 10 minutes left.
10 minutes left.
11:02.
Chat. What do you think? Do we stay till the end of the Buffalo game here?
Or do you want to rest so we can get ready for Sunday Night Football?
I'd love to rest. I'd
Okay.
love to rest. If there's any updates, we'll talk about it on the next stream. And,
Okay.
and then that'll be all hunky dory. But you know, my energy level's just going down and down and down after I'm crashing out. So
Okay, so go rest, come back, and we'll go live for Sunday Night Football.
there we go. You know what's funny? The Giants could still get the number 1 overall pick. We're that bad.
They still could.
We still have that chance.
Yep.
Still have it.
That's what I'm trying to
They
tell
don't-
you.
They don't deserve it. They don't deserve it. They don't even deserve a chance. This was your day to deserve it. You don't deserve it now. No. Like a bad dog who shit on the rug. No. But yeah, that's been the stream, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Take it easy, chat. Jess, Steph, Michael. Take it easy, guys. And see you guys next week. With we'll actually see you guys at 8:20. 49ers and Bears. Good game. Really good game. So excited to watch that.
Game.
Excited to watch the hate watch if Brock Purdy throws a pick. I can't wait to
That's
see
right.
Daniel's fucking smug grin on the
Oh.
screen. So we'll see you guys at 8:20.